hope you have a good time. I won't take too long. I know lunch is coming. So, I'm a professor of philosophy. I've been teaching here for more than 20 years, and I've been. Let me check a little bit of the history of the China Institute. I've been the last director before Dr. Cao for the last 80 years. But before me, Dr. Justin Su had been the director for 20 years. And before that, the China Institute was established in 1982 with many accomplished and distinguished professors at CSUN who really dedicated a lot of effort to the center, to the institute. I just named a few people, and you will see them again. So this is the picture that Dr. Cao presented to President Beck. The visit in 1981 of the CSUN leadership to 5 Chinese universities at the time. This is at Harbin, it's a visit of Harbin University of Technology. I would say we are the earliest university to visit and collaborate with Chinese universities. Together in California with whom? With Stanford and Berkeley. And certainly the only one, the first one in the cross-state system. And we have the first batch of students visiting us and studying here, and Dr. Cao just mentioned 7 first distinguished alumni we have at CSUN. But I also want to say a few more about the next future years. All our presidents have been very supportive, including the deans of the College of Humanities and many other leadership in the university. Especially today, we have somehow more difficult times in the U.S.-China relationship. But the support here is even more appreciated. In Chinese idiom, we say, 雪中送炭, burn the coal in a snowy day. It's much more valued than 锦上添花, give flower to more flowers. So there's something that we are very grateful and very proud of, that all the support that CSUN has given to this joint collaboration between the China and the U.S. Educational collaborations. So these are the reunion of the 2 distinguished leaders of the China Institute. You can see they are going strong. I also want to mention a little bit of the members of the China Institute at CSUN who have done excellent research and bring a lot of grant to the university. You can see here are the research publications, and it's just in the math and sciences. And here are the grants. And President Beck mentioned we have about 46 meetings. And you can see the member of China Institute, we just gathered data from Dr. Cao, is that $21 million from the member of China Institute. All the names that they are kind of, just call the name. But I do want to call out that there are some distinguished members here, Dr. Bingbing Li, Dr. Li Liu, and Dr. Ye Li, and Dr. Ashley Gun, and Hu Tao. All these are the members who have done excellent research, brought a lot of money and a lot of prestige to this university. And we did continue to promote the Chinese culture and do research. And in order to better understanding of U.S.-China relationship and of Chinese culture and society. So we have done a lot of lectures. We named actually the lecture series after Harold Gilch, who passed away, who is also a former director of China Institute. So many lectures and many more will be coming. And also continue, like Justine did, continue our culture event to promote Chinese culture and film, streaming, dancing, Tai Chi. And we also promoted to introduce new and upcoming researchers at CSUN, especially the young CSUN faculty members, to advocate and promote the research to the community, to the CSUN especially. These are the young and new faculty members who did excellent research. Another mission of the Chinese Institute is to serve our students, not just the students who came here from China to study, but also CSUN students who want to study in China. So these are CSC scholarships that a lot of students from CSUN got the scholarship and study in China for 1 or more years, completely free, even with a stipend and with health insurance. And now we have the YES scholarship, where more students would go to China. It's just a wonderful opportunity. I even, sometimes jealous of the student who got the scholarship to go to China, to the best university, including Beijing and Tsinghua University, Fudan University. So these are golden opportunities for our students. And these are the Chinese students who studied at CSUN. They were, at the golden time, more than 500, 600 students studying at CSUN. Recently, the number has gone down significantly due to the pandemic, due to the relationship. But we hope the thing will get better. Maybe I will say a little bit more outside the script on the future or the history of the U.S.-China relationship. I mean, now is a difficult time, we all know. But look at the history. Maybe since the early start in the 18th century between the China and the US, and in the last 200 years, there are really no direct war or conflict between US and China. And there's always good allies, not certainly since 1972 when Nixon visited China, were strong allies in almost all aspects of the international affairs. And culturally, I'm a philosopher, I would say, these two countries, they're complementary in their cultures. And in China, since the May 4th movement, we introduced the 德先生, 赛先生, the democracy and science into China. And in the late 20th century, there's a renaissance of the Chinese and Japanese culture in the United States. They learn the Taoism, they learn the Confucianism, and actually very complementary to what we have in the American society today. Geographically, I would say they are natural allies too. And there are so many challenges today we face as humankind. Climate change, the future of artificial intelligence. We more likely are allies or collaborators rather than competitors or even enemies. I would say we are never enemies, and we'll never be enemies in the future. So that's my personal assessment, but I feel that had been confirmed by the history, and it will be very likely the case in the future. So that's a little bit off script. So that's our visiting scholars. Again, we don't have that many. As a P, we have more than 100 visiting scholars at CSUN, but still we continue to have visiting scholars and continue to introduce American education and culture, and they will bring this back to China. And they also, the visiting scholars have a lot of support from local communities, and they tour different parts of the city, and they enjoy the immersion into American culture. So these are the students. You see the Dr. Hu right there. He brought the student to China and to have a lot of fun. You can see they practiced Tai Chi in the Chinese parks. I don't know how good that is, but it's fun. So the last part is that really, especially during the pandemic, and we work together with a lot of local communities, especially with the Black communities, to fight for the racial injustice. There are a lot of Chinese communities in the valley, and there are, we formed a joint project with they call it African Asian Collaborate for Inclusive Excellence Project. We got a grant from CSUN for $50,000, and we organized a lot of events. During this process, what I learned personally, and I hope many community members have learned, is that the Black history in America actually a lot similar to what the Chinese Americans have experienced in America too. We are all marginalized community, at least from the start. And we have a lot of personal experiences, very similar personal experiences in this process. So, in the sense that we can really learn their history, and we can really learn our own history, and in the future we can say, this is a different time, but we can fight, we can unite. And today is a great opportunity for our alumni. The Chinese Alumni chapter started today, and it's a great starting point for us to be united and to fight for our own survival and our own prosperity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alumni. I would now like to invite Mr. Leo Chu to the stage for his impressions about today. And Leo is an entrepreneur and a tremendous supporter of education here in Southern California and maybe even further abroad. So if you would please come.
When I got an invitation from Professor Wei, so want me to be a keynote speaker. This is the first time I've been a keynote speaker. I spoke quite a lot about other subjects, stuff like this, but not as a keynote speaker. So I said, okay, what's the subject? So she said, this is the first meeting of the Chinese Alumni Association. I said, oh, okay. So I just gave some history and what, alumni's mission is and all that kind of stuff. So it's easy, After I heard all this from Professor Chow, from Dean Reeder and Christine and George, I said, oh wow, they've been doing this for a long time. So going back to CSUN, somebody asked me, is this your first time in CSUN? I said, no, about 25 years ago. He said, really, 25 years ago, what do you do here? I did a thing called Research of Jews in Shanghai. So at that time, there's Professor Mark Goldstein, who's retired, and also the librarian dean was Susan Curson. So they said, look, Leo, do you know about Jews in China, in Shanghai especially? I said, yeah. I was born in Shanghai, I'm a Shanghainese, and so I know my father's in the textile business, or who's in the textile business? All the Jews, right? So my father first thing says, son, you have to learn to speak English, because my father only had third grade education. So I said, okay, so that really helped me when I decided to come to the United States, because I speak English. So with all that, my relationship goes back with CSUN for a long time. So we had actually at OVA Library at that time, we had a big 10% of the space to actually display all the artifacts from all the Jews, I remember that you try to speak Mandarin, right? And we form an association called Old China Hand. What does that mean? It means they know China like they know their hand, but they're not Chinese. So it's called 中国老手. So with that, so remind me your Mandarin, okay? But we have old ladies dressing Changsang, okay? They try to speak Chinese to pick up the memories, okay, what they remember in Shanghai. So this is my relationship with CSUN. So now about alumni. My experience with alumni is really with USC. I have volunteered for USC for 21 years up to today. So I love what I do. Really, I'm a businessman, but I love two things. I love education and I love healthcare. These are the things that anybody who was before was born until they die. Everybody's involved with education. The Chinese don't say, in English it's called continuing education. What is continuing education? Is Chinese say, 活到老，学到老. That's it. Very simple. Very simple. So with that, so that's my belief. In healthcare, now before the baby move on, okay, it's healthcare. Because mother has to take care, okay, with the baby. So anyway, so that's what I believe. So let's go back to alumni. You know, there's a little trivia about alumni. So the first alumni purpose actually is to save a school. It's called Williams College. 1821, the trustee board decided they want to move out of Williamstown because they know Williamstown is a small town, there's nothing. Okay, we want to be a bigger town and bigger things that can buy a cup of coffee. Williamstown is not even a coffee shop. So they decided to move. So the president took half the staff and the students moved to another town. So then Williams College has had big financial problems. So one of the students, okay, started, hey, let's form a alumni association to raise some money to save the college. They did. So the people that went started Amherst. So Amherst and Williams College always fight, just like UCLA and USC, okay, same thing, same idea. So this is how alumni does. So what do? They try to help the school. Today is even more so. What's the purpose? The purpose is to have a collaboration of all the old friends, get together to be friends forever. 2008, in the financial crisis, okay, the president of USC issued a letter to the Alum Association and basically says, please, alum, help USC graduates to get a job. So this is what basically this Alum Association is all about. Now at USC also, we have a USC Chinese Student Association. So every year, in the height, I think USC probably has about 4,000 Chinese students, huge. I think between NYU and USC, whoever has the most Chinese students, so the Chinese student body is huge. So I don't sit on the board, but I'm the advisor because they are far from home, basically all by themselves. So I try to help them, anything they need with the school and stuff like this, all that kind of stuff. So the mission of now, going back to philanthropy. Philanthropy USA is really the most significant donor for any philanthropy. If you add all the money they donated for philanthropy, it's about $600 billion, which is about 2% of GDP. Okay, that's not in counting volunteer work. If you add that together, it's even more so. If you look at the colleges, top 10 Ivy League colleges, 8 of them are private schools. Only Berkeley and UCLA are in the top 10. Why? All private money. Sinai, number 3 best hospital in the United States, is all donated by one single group of people, Jews. This is what alumni. So they have their own alumni. Okay. So this is what's happening in the education system. We have to teach and give education to our people. We want to help you, but when you can help other people, we want you to do the same thing. This can go on and multiply. So that's basically what alum is all about. Now, in the old days, it's called, my father always said, you don't have to go to college, but you have to know a lot of people. That's more important than your college education. Okay, college may not get you a job, but if you know some people, they definitely will give you a job. So then it becomes, you have to have connection. Today, no. Today is KYC. Know your customer. Okay, what they need. That's how America grow. Know your customer, but also inventive. Elon Musk came from nowhere. Where does he come from? He's come from South Africa, right? So this is what America is all about, to allow people to create freely anything they can do under the law. That's very important. What's legal? Legal means you have to do things under the law. So that makes America. So most people think, hey, America, I don't want to talk about politics. America, because they print money. No, it's not that. We have people and we accommodate people from anywhere in the world come here to print money. The 4 biggest companies in the United States account for all EU stock market. That's America. That's America. So what alumni is part of that system. Alumni is connections, and also how you can help each other. Okay, in China, in other countries, because the world divided by either religion or race and color. Okay, China is divided by what language, what dialect you speak. If you're Chinese, you got another people like Chinese. Oh my God, he's my brother. Okay, if you speak Cantonese, well, who are you? So this is every country, every race has their own way of distinguishing people. So alumni, what means all different colors, all different races, all different languages, all come together and join as an association. In LA County, we have 88 cities. And do you know how many languages we speak in LA City? 168. 168 languages. In Beverly Hills, on the ballot, we have Farsi, which is Iranian, and we have Chinese, and we have Spanish. If any city have more than 5%, you have to print the language. So that's the interesting part. That's the interesting part. So alumni basically get all kinds of people, all races, all colors, all education, all things, religion, combined together. And we can do a lot more things. A lot more things. Yeah. One person can only do one thing, but 10 people, you can pull a big group. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Leo. I am very keenly aware of alumni and how they support us. I work with a lot of alumni, and it really adds so much to the community of the university. Next, I'd like to invite our speaker, Yang Luo.
I try to be short. I'm very honored to be invited in a particular scene of the professors and also scholars and alumni. I'm very humble, actually. Actually, I was invited a day ago, so I didn't really prepare my speech. Of course, a lot of people knowing me from my acting career. I was nominated a few times in China, and I produced a film. I wrote and act movies for Universal Studio and so on. What I'm trying to talk about today, just very brief because we have lunch. I recently involved with venture capital business. So I had a chance to meet so many entrepreneurs, innovators, scientists. The number of creativity in the society in today, US and China, is gigantic. I was like shocked for the amount of projects and innovations. Almost like a mushroom after heavy rainy day. So it's just like enormous. Myself, I involved with the 4 VC funds, and I involved with the 16 direct already closed 16 deals, which means 16 companies. There are more of early stage startup. So I guess because of AI, because of biotech, all those business, all those areas, they are leading the world going forward and much more improved human life. So I'm here to encourage everybody, if you know anybody, if you have your kids, who they dream about certain things and they have a creative mind, and encourage them, and if they have any projects they want to pitch, and come to me. And so I will be glad to either help them, mature them, or invest them. Thank you so much.
Next, I'd like to invite Professor Junlian Huang. I'll give it to you. Who talk about the Modern China Studies program.
Hello everyone, my name is Junlian Huang. I'm the section head and advisor of Chinese in the Department of CLL in the College of Humanities. I joined CSUN, I came to CSUN for the first time in February 2015 for my job interview. I don't remember much from the job interview. It probably went well. But what I do remember is the shock that I had when I first saw the palm trees in front of the library. Because for the first time of my life, I saw palm trees, not on the beach, but in front of the university library. And I flew all the way from the East Coast, and I remember very clearly that that week we had 4 winter storms in New York City. And when I flew back after my interview, my car, which I parked at the airport, was frozen and covered with ice, and the roads were all icy. So I said to myself, I'm not gonna live like this anymore. So here I am, and I feel very humbled today because I joined CSUN not even 10 years ago. So I will give a very quick overview of the things that we were able to achieve within the past 9-10 years. And then I'm going to talk about the plans we have for the near future. So speaking of the minor program in Modern China Studies, this is a new program that we launched very recently in fall 2021. It is a interdisciplinary program for undergrad students. We have students who are coming from diversified academic backgrounds, including humanities, business, social and behavioral sciences, arts, media or communication, and more. So we're not just serving students in the College of Humanities, but students with different academic backgrounds. And if they are pursuing the Modern China Studies minor, they must complete 4 core courses. The first one would be the gateway course called Fleet 151. It's an introduction to modern China culture. Modern Chinese culture and literature. And they have to, the second course they have to select is one of our 4 Chinese language courses. And then they also have to select from 2 core courses from other departments, such as business, arts, history, and so on. In addition to the 4 core courses, they also have to select 2 additional courses as electives. So altogether, they have to finish about 18 to 20 units in order to get this minor. Upon completing the minor, students will gain foundational knowledge of Chinese language and culture, along with a comprehensive understanding of modern Chinese society. So of course, as I said just now, the minor program was created about 3 years ago. It's relatively new. Before that, we, as our previous presenters demonstrated, we have a much longer history of teaching Chinese language and Chinese society culture at CSUN. We have been teaching 4 language courses, Chinese 101, 102, 201, and 202, across campus at CSUN. Unfortunately, after the pandemic, we haven't been able to offer Chinese 201 and 202 due to low enrollment. And Chinese 102 has been facing difficulties and crisis because for the same reason. Chinese 101 has been doing great. We have not been able to have any, we have not been having any problems fulfilling 101. We also have some GE courses. This one, the second one, 151, is what I mentioned just now. We also have a new course that introduces or discusses social issues in modern China. We have been supported by various sources. For example, the CSC program that Dr. Sun talked about just now. We also established this new collaborational relationship with Chinese American Foundation. We just started that about 2 years ago. They started to sponsor specifically our Chinese 102 course. Because we were not able to get enough students, the university will cancel the course if you don't meet the minimum enrollment. So every semester when a group of students from 101, they wanted to go to 102, but if it's below the number, the university will not fund it. So we have been working diligently with CAF on this course. So this is what we had last fall, a collaboration celebration ceremony on CSUN campus just to announce this relationship. And what I would like to highlight is our student involvement in all of these events and collaborations. These are a group of our Chinese 101 and 102 students who were performing a song by Zhou Jielun, at the ceremony. And they have been involved in various events. Some of them were organized by the Chinese Consulate General in Los Angeles. And they also joined us at the Spring Festival celebration every year. Some of them, like the second picture here, the first row, they're all students. They even came out of their way, like on a Saturday or Sunday, on a weekend to St. Gabriel Valley to join some of our events. So these are a list of the lectures, academic lectures that Dr. Sun talked about, and I would like to highlight the participation of students in all these academic events. So what I wanted to say is that these academic events are not just for like intellectual exchanges between faculty members. They were also great opportunities for the students to be exposed to the intellectual world. So every event was participated by students. They were very enthusiastic about joining all these events. So speaking of our plans for the future, what we would like to do is to offer both Chinese 101 and Chinese 102 courses every semester, especially for 101 because we feel the urgency to offer multiple sessions of 101 so that we can, as a result, we can get enough students, number of students for 102, and to establish a stable foundation for Chinese 201, 202, and beyond. And we would like to enrich the curriculum by integrating direct experiences of Chinese culture and Chinese American history through various activities. For example, we can take the students to visit the Chinese garden at the Huntington Library. We could maybe host a workshop on the Queen Opera on campus. We would like to organize a trip to the Chinese American Museum in Los Angeles. We also can plan a visit to the Xilai Buddhist temple in Los Angeles. And during the semester, I would love to also be able to offer maybe tickets to local concerts, exhibitions, or film festivals related to China so that students can have a more intensive exposure to the Chinese culture. We could also bring those film directors back to campus. We were able to do this before the pandemic, but unfortunately after the pandemic, it has been extremely difficult to do that. And we would also like to offer short-term visiting opportunities for American students who are interested in China. These opportunities can be integrated into existing China-related courses at CSUN, or they could be offered as intensive summer or winter programs. I'll give you just two very brief examples. So this one was this group of students, they did 17 CSUN students who did summer camp, summer program led by Dr. Jun Zhan from the Department of Accounting. And they went to 华东科技大学, right, HUST. And what they did was, the CSUN students, I think they took a summer course at HUST, and they were able to transfer the credit back to CSUN. And I watched a very brief video, which I will not have time to show here, but all the students, they were extremely grateful for this transformative experience. And Dr. Cao is also organizing this 2024 Hello China International Students Winter Camp, which is upcoming. They will, I think we will take 6 CSUN students to Hangzhou once they're done with their finals. So it's gonna be next week. And all these 6 CSUN students are enrolled in Dr. Cao's Winter 2024 course. FCS 260 in the Department of Family and Consumer Sciences. And the students will they will take courses on the basics of Chinese language. They will be visiting maybe some museums, and they will participate in local cultural activities. And we're hoping that these students, when they come back from China, they will be interested in taking our Chinese courses, language courses, and pursue maybe something bigger. So all these wonderful opportunities have been funded by mostly by our partner schools in China. So we are in need for stable funding sources, which is essential for us, because we don't want to promise students something and then we have to go to China, go to our partner universities every time just to seek for funding. Okay, and with stable funding sources, we hope, like Dr. Su said just now, serve as a hub for educational and cultural exchanges between China and the US. We could facilitate visits for Chinese students from China and offer them summer courses in various departments at CSUN. And we're also working on promoting collaborative online international learning by virtually connecting classrooms with universities in China. So I had to go very quickly, but if you are interested in knowing any details, I would be more than happy to chat with you in person. Thank you so much.
Wait for the lunch, but I'm the last one, only 2 minutes. So it's glad to learn all the history about CSUN. So, and I'm Hongshan Shao, an assistant professor in the educational psychology and counseling. So I joined CSUN last fall, and I'm brand new at CSUN as well as my career. So it's really a great opportunity for me to present today. For today, I want to introduce a trip to China. This summer, I had the privilege of leading a group of CSUN graduate students to China to participate in the Sino-US Youth Mental Health Open Forum, which is part of the YES program, as the council mentioned before. Throughout this event, the students get the opportunity to attend various seminar, exchange their ideas with peers and professionals from both countries, and they gained a deeper understanding of the global mental health challenge. Also, our students get a chance to present, to share their knowledge during this open forum, and on this forum, based on their clinical experience and counseling training during the program, in addition to these presentations, we also get chance to visit 4 cities in China, including Beijing, Jinan, Qufu, and Guangzhou. The students state every moment was enriching for them, from engaging conversations to cultural experience. And the student also shared that the insights gained from this activity will undoubtedly shape their own mental health work. As a faculty, witnessed their growth was deeply rewarding and reformed the importance of cross-cultural experience. And this transformative experience was possible by generous support from China Institute and the Chinese government, which ensure our students could participate in this meaningful global engagement opportunity. As we continue to seek ways to enrich our students' journey, the backing of community makes very essential role in making all those possible. Together, we could empower more students to participate in this life-changing experience, which shape their own personal and professional growth. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. And thank you all for being here and for your patience. This was really a very learning experience for me, to really get a better understanding of the Chinese community here on campus and how far back it goes. So, a couple of takeaways, and then I promise you'll all rush the lunch table. One is become active through the Alumni Association. Join up, be a source of support for our students today. Another way, as Justine so beautifully opened the door for me as a fundraiser, is for you to support the programs and our students through scholarships, through funding, so that we can continue offering certain courses that, because of mathematics and budget issues, we cannot offer if they don't hit their minimum targets. If you have any questions about that, you can certainly see me. I'm more than happy to help you navigate all of that, whether you give directly to the China Institute or you want to establish a fund on your own, like Justine did. Let me know, and I will be more than happy to guide you along that. Thank you for the honor of allowing me to be a part of this event, and here are a couple of QR codes if you want to learn more, and enjoy lunch. Thank you.